Hello, hello, this is Simone. I am back with the second part of my junk journal mini album that I created for my son as a Christmas present. I'm flipping through the pages because I totally forgot to film the first part of me embellishing and creating the, sticking in the photos. I knew I filmed a lengthy video where you saw me um, putting the album together. If you haven't, and if you have never done something like that before, I highly recommend my video because you can see how easy it is to create a little mini album from scratch with some scrap papers, some papers that you have in your stash. um, you could actually just use junk. That's why it's called junk, and create a really nice album that you could give to someone, like I did to this with this for my son. So I I'm sorry for the swallowing sounds. I really hate those, and I totally forgot that I didn't want to do them. So again, I went to a competition with my son over a weekend in December. And when I came back, I was so, motivated to create a mini album, to memory keep, to do something with those memories and the photos that I took, that I started the Monday after we returned and created this mini album. This is, um, in short, this is a small journal that I grabbed at the youth hostel where we stayed. I took it apart. I took, I think, 2 pages from that. And then I took some of the Cocoa Daisy December memory keeping kits. These journaling cards are from that kit. And then I took some papers from my stash. There was one craft piece of paper that is from a Midori insert that I took pages out. There's a white piece of paper that is just from a sketchbook that I also took some of the pages out. And yeah, so I created the mini album and didn't really know how I was going to create or embellish the pages. And I had this flap sticking out from a paper that I inserted into the album. It was a flip out on the other side, but it was perfect to just sandwich in between two journaling cards and add another page. Since I didn't really need more pages, I was able to just add one of those cards that had a really nice saying on there. And yeah, now I'm using this scrap piece of paper just as a border around or as a layer behind my photo. And yeah, I also decide to add a journaling card to the back, mainly because I want to have something on the front. And now you can see me embellishing the front. I really liked that saying, but it just didn't really work. And since I have already stuff in on the inside and the cover is quite chunky, I decided to add a journaling card to the back to just make it sturdier. And I will then add some word strips to the back. And now I'm going through. So in the first step, you saw me in the first video, you saw me um, creating the mini album. I had already printed the photos. And now I'm going through and looking at stuff that I have made. Do I like this? And yes, I do. So the first part was creating the mini album. And sewing it together, ripping off the pages, using the photos as a guide on how many pages I need. The second step then was to create the mini album. The third step was to stick down the photos and the journaling cards. That's what I just finished, and now I'm going to journal and embellish some more. So you just saw me create the cover. And now I'm writing stuff down and embellishing. And you saw me, I took out the washi tape strips. I wanted to have them um, like having attaching the photos, but it just didn't look right. And so I decided not to do that and took it off, but I used the washi tape as a backing for a sticker. I liked that it popped off the page more, having the washi tape behind as a layer. And now I'm journaling. I'm looking for embellishments and stickers. I add back this puffy sticker that I had before, and this is a cut down part of a journaling card. I cut it down a little bit more, and then I'm writing on there again. This is the thing that I stuck on the journaling card is the confirmation number of our booking and the time we are going to stay. Now I'm using those Evalicious stickers that came in the pocket kit from Coco Daisy to write a title, which is dinner. We went and not splurged. I know that it's not splurging. We went to In-N-Out Burgers. We haven't had that in a very long while, so this was kind of a treat for us. And I'm journaling about this, and yeah, I am writing in English. Usually I'm writing in German because my son is, even though he was born in Germany and he is German, he started school here in kindergarten and he can read English much better than he can read German. We are not sending him to a German school or a German Saturday school. We could, but we decided not to. We are focusing more on him reading English and getting a good reader in English. And he started reading German and he can read German, but it's really hard, and he's like a very, very beginner reader there. So I didn't want him to struggle with reading the mini album. He might be struggling with my handwriting, but he will not struggle with reading the English words. And I wanted him to be able to read it now, not when he's grown up, because that's a memory that we share and I really want him to be able to read it. But twice during the mini album here, I totally forgot that I was writing in English, and so I started a sentence in German, and then I decided to not cover it up, to not rip it out, to just continue writing in English. That's how he sometimes speaks, a mix of German and English, and so I don't think it's too hard for him to be able to understand it. So yeah, I'm journaling, and this is just taking some time. As you can see, this video compared to the other video, this is 16 minutes of me filling up the album, embellishing, journaling. And the other video was 10 minutes of me putting together a whole mini album. So you can see it takes a while. I actually created this in one sitting on one morning, so it's not an overwhelming thing to do. Don't think that I could have embellished even more. I could have done a lot more to this, but I wanted it to be a quick project. It took me about 2.5 hours. So if you have someone in your life that you want to gift a memory thing to, this is a perfect project. And yeah, I would love to know, have you done something like that before? Is this something that people enjoy and really treasure the value of you giving them an album with your shared memory? Or how do people receive this? I don't know yet. I hope my son will love it. And if he doesn't love it now, I am sure he will love it when he's a grown-up person, which will take a while. And since I have a teenager in my house since today, I think there will be a lot of struggles in between now and the day that he will be able to appreciate this gift. I messed up big time. I, yeah, this is something that is really hard for me. I sometimes start writing without thinking it through, and then I get stuck in the middle of the sentence, and that I wrote total and complete. I don't think I should be swearing here. I wrote total and complete BS. It didn't make sense at all. I didn't like it, and so I decided to just take the card out and think about what I was going to journal about and then write it again. I was able to take off this flag and then, yeah, done. Next page. So the embellishments that came in the memory keeping main and pocket kit, and even though they fit perfectly to this topic, it's very travel themed, it's new beginnings, fresh start, let's try again, stuff like that. So this will work well for all your 2018 goals, starting a new year, but also for all of your travel memories. And I really like having that arrow up there sticking out over the page. It just makes it more interactive. And yeah, so what did we do? We went to a regional climbing competition in bouldering, and it was the very first real climbing competition that he participated in. And we just went there because we wanted to see what it was like. And it was very different to the local competitions, so it was really good that we went. But that also means that he did not achieve a scoring rank or a rank that he had dreamed of. He was 13th out of 17th, and it was really hard. So climbing is not much. Yeah, you have to have strength, but it's also a very mental game. You have to climb. For this competition, you had 4 minutes and 30 seconds to climb a problem. You had 6 problems that you were supposed to climb. Each age group got their own problem, and then you just climbed. But what if you didn't reach the top? And then you had to go to the next problem. And then you started all over again. And then you had to go to the next problem, and so on. And that was really, really hard. My son completed 1 problem and didn't reach the top for any of them. And after the last one, he came off and he said, "This wasn't fun at all. I did so bad." He didn't do that as bad as he thought, but not reaching the top is just so demoralizing that those kids, yeah, they struggle. So climbing is not really only for strength. It is also a really much a thing in your head. Yeah. So yes, so we left the competition and then we went back and watched our climbing crush. If I'm not mistaken, he was a national champion at one point, and he trains at our gym, and he is like his and my favorite climber to watch because he just climbs it all and he can do it with such elegance and perfection. It's really surreal to watch. Then we went and had dinner, and we played games at the youth hostel, and he didn't want to go back there at all. And as the day progressed, because he was in the morning shift, he was like, "Can we go back there tomorrow in the morning?" He was so, I just loved him. He was so frustrated at the beginning, and he thought he sucked so badly and he wouldn't be a good climber at all. And then seeing him watching the other people then changing his whole attitude towards the thing, and he wanted to go back and try the problems again and see if he could reach the top of one of the problems, which he actually did on that day. On the Sunday, he was able to finish one more climbing problem. That was such an experience for me, seeing my son being so determined. And yeah, that's what this whole mini album is all about: struggling, getting back up, and starting to fight again. And I just want him to remember this moment when he gets to similar moments in his life, and maybe he can remember that his mom made him a whole mini album about this, and that he already picked himself up one time, and that he can do it over and over again. So that is what the back side of this is again. It is saying keep on trying. Yeah, and then I think I'm done, or at least with the creating part. Maybe I'm going to flip through this one more time. I don't really know. I'm looking for stickers to place here, and I'm going to add an arrow because somehow this trying was too far in, so I added this stamp, and then I'm calling this done. I'm going to wrap around some of the baker's twine, and then finished. Yeah, I'm really proud of this. It's the second mini album that I created. If you want to keep on watching, if you want to see how I created the base for this mini album, there is links on screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!